Welcome to the results, everybody. And this week I got a lot of stuff to get to. There's something big and long between my legs that I want to show you guys. It's even cooler in 3D. So yeah, let's get to it. June is always like a really good month, I find. I've been doing this for now 2 years. It seems like garage sales get into full swing, and people do the spring cleaning, so you find whatever they've donated starts to come through the system. One of the first few sales I did go to, the guy said he was selling Xbox games. I showed up and he didn't have anything but a DJ turntable and a Wii Fit board. But then I pressed a little. Like 90% of what you're gonna get is not out there in the open, and if it is, it's gone. Ask and ye shall receive. So he brought out a Game Boy. He said he had. I spent $5 for all of this. So of course we have that case again that I picked up a couple weeks ago. This time with a strap. Comes with a battery pack, but no way to charge it. I think you could just like shave off like a PS2 cord or something to plop it in there and charge it up. But nonetheless, battery pack, a light boy, which I actually had one of these back in the day. My dad always was concerned about us losing our eyesight. A link cable. I'm not sure where people got these decals. I think they were Nintendo Power, but yeah, like there's some really fancy, like totally 80s stuff going on here. But yeah, I mean the system actually works. The guys had batteries in it, and it has a. I remember hearing that these things have problems with the screen eventually. Like basically, there's a light line that's going down the left side of the screen, and yeah, and that thing flaked off too. But it can be stuck back on. Game Boy camera. Sad story about one of these. I remember seeing them in seeing this in a thrift store, and it was gold in color. And I just was like, these things are lame, I don't want this thing. Later I had learned that the gold camera was part of some special bundle or something where it had some Zelda software on it, and it was selling then for like, I mean I saw it in the first store for like $1, and I think it's like over $200, just ridiculous. And basically it has like some preloaded picture templates with Zelda or something on it and Link. And now let's get to these awesome games. Just ridiculous. So you've got your Super Mario Land, you've got your Dr. Mario, there's even a Tetris. Typical. But then let's see what other interesting things we find. Bart Simpson, Escape from Camp Deadly. Here's a good one. I remember playing this in Funcoland, but I never bought it. Cosmo Tank. Castlevania The Adventure. I think I actually might keep that, and I really don't like to keep too many loose GB Game Boy games. Double Dragon, Operation C. I borrowed this from my cousin back in the day, and what I did was the guys respawn in the game, and I remember in order to get a ton of lives, I inched towards the edge of a screen, and as the guys were like coming to this edge of the screen, they would keep respawning, and I had taped down and put a remote control on like the shoot button. I think it was the B button, and basically the guys would keep on coming, and I would get tons of points and get lives from them. I beat the game because I think I had 99 lives or more, but it's kind of cheap, but got the job done. And eventually I think I had a Game Genie, but I don't know, I never used that thing. This is Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Hopefully nothing like the NES one. Maybe it has cool music like the NES one. Radar Mission. Mega Man, and Choplifter Part 2. The next sale I went to, one of them said that they had N64 games and some loose Nintendo controllers, and he brought out the Nintendo controllers, official Nintendo controllers. One of them was the NES Max, and I already have one, and I hate them because they're so damn tiny. But then he brought out some pretty shitty N64 games. Whatever, they're pretty low on the rung of games, but you know, he said he wanted to keep whatever he had, and I didn't really press to ask what he really had. The games he brought out were like Cruisin' USA, Dark Rift, these two, and I think there was one more, but I can't remember. So, but what I pulled out was Earthworm Jim 3D. I know it's supposedly not a very good game, but I never played it, so, and then F-Zero X. Oh, and he said he also had like these portable screens, and I said, yeah, bring them out, and I should have bought both, but I ended up just buying the one for GameCube, and I know these are valuable to people in the modding community, so I bought this for $5 and these two games for $1 together, so that 50 cents each basically. My town was like holding some sort of rummage thing, but it wasn't really a rummage thing, like almost like a flea market, but not quite. Either way, it wasn't very spectacular, and there were no games there, but there was a seller selling books, some old antiques, cameras, and a bunch of action figures, mostly from the 80s. And some from, I guess, the later 90s. Actually had this guy when it was out, but a Transformers Dinobot Transmetals. It's pretty cool, actually. That is labeled for $5, and these guys are called Beast. I can't remember what they're called. They're supposed to have holograms on here. I had a couple of these, and I still have them back in my parents' place. But yeah, either way, I saw that it had a vehicle, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna pick this up. So I got these both for $7 together. The only reason I got them was to basically sell them later on. And I know this guy's worth probably around at least 25 or 30 bucks. And these guys are worth more. That was it for my town. I mean, it was pretty lame. So, went to the other town over, and I knew there was like a community-wide garage sale that had started up. It was like an annual thing that goes on in one part of that town, and I wanted to go, but I knew I was going to be late. You know, the official start time was 9, so people probably showed up earlier, and I was thinking that I wasn't going to find anything, so I just hit up the thrift stores. I did go to one thrift store I don't really go to that often, but you know, sometimes I find some good stuff there, and they have decent prices. So I had some Xbox 360 games in. They sell their DVDs and VHSs for 50 cents. And basically they took this as a 50 cents DVD. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 for 50 cents. This game is now somewhat more valuable. I don't know why. I know the first one has like a special edition of it that has some exclusive characters that you can't even download anymore. But yeah, this is like a $40 game. I actually already have this for PS3, which I'm keeping, but this one I saw and I could not let it go. Went to another thrift store in town. I found this Dualshock 3 controller, and it's usually like half off or 40% off or something like that during the summer months. So yeah, this ended up being $1, and yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of my regular 6-axis. I have like an X or 6-axis controller, but it's not a DualShock. He said, you know what, I'm gonna go to that community sale. I'm gonna ask questions, and maybe some people, they bring out stuff. One of the first houses I went to, they said, oh, we had a big box of stuff in the morning that had all gone, of game stuff. And you know, they mentioned PS2 and Xbox, and I was kind of disappointed. That was like the second house I visited. I had a list of all of them, because there's like a little map, but there were like 50 houses or something ridiculous like that. And of course I went to every single one that was still open at the time. Like this was already around 12 noon, 12:30, something like that. So people there had been probably out and at their garage sale, manning it since like 8 a.m. or 8:30, maybe they started setting up. Not too long after that, I was going down the street and I asked about these games, and they first brought out like random Wii parts, like a Wiimote, a sensor bar, power brick, no games, but then there was Wii Sports. I pulled out and she's like, oh, I want to keep that, and so I gave it back to her. But then I said, oh, I'm also interested in like these older type games too, and she's like, she didn't say anything at first, but then later on in the conversation she's like, you know what, I'm gonna go back inside and see if I have anything that I haven't used in a long time and don't really care to keep. And she brings out 2 games, and her brother actually brings out some GameCube games which were pretty lame, like Shrek, Naruto 2, and something else. I think these are just things, he probably had better things, but he wanted to keep them. So either way, she brings out Super Smash Brothers for the N64 and Gauntlet Legends. When her brother saw that she had brought out Super Smash Brothers, he was like, oh, I think I want to keep that. So, but she gave this to me for free. She said, you have it. I'm glad you asked about it. So, yeah, man, like I said, just ask, man. Just ask. The next freaking awesome place I went to, I was asking about things, and usually when I ask about things, unless I know there's like some sort of shark around me, I'm gonna keep it kind of quiet. But otherwise, I'll just kind of announce it, because other people at the sale, whether they're customers or people who are manning a sale that's next door or whatever, they're gonna hear me, and they might actually have what I want. So, that's what happened basically this time. There was a lady at the yard sale who was a neighbor, and she was talking, and she overheard me say Sega, and she's like, I have some Sega stuff. Yeah, I have some Sega stuff in a box and everything. And I'm thinking, oh great, I'm gonna get some Sega Genesis stuff finally. And I don't know what it is, but she goes back to her house, and like 5 minutes later or less, she comes back with a box in hand. I'm not talking like a regular brown cardboard box. I'm talking about a freaking boxed Sega Master System in pretty damn mint condition. Man, this is amazing. I actually do have a Master System 2 system already. That's like boxed and sealed. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you that one too. Hold on a second. Alright, due to the size of these 2 boxes together, I can't have them both on screen at the same time. Well, maybe. There's this Model 1 with the 3D glasses, which a boxed Sega Master System is just phenomenal, but one with the glasses is even better. And excuse me while I turn on a light. Last September I bought this at a flea market. It was $20 actually. I remember the guy wanted I think 25 or something, or he first wanted more than that, but I offered him 20, and then he wanted to go down to 25, and I ended up, I was like walking away, and he ended up saying like, okay, I'll do 20. So I don't know what kind of position he was in, but this thing is definitely worth more than $20. Not only is it like sealed and obviously never opened, but it's like some sort of special bundle where it came with columns, and I'm not sure if you got a subscription or what, but it gave you at least a Sega Visions issue of Sega Visions, which I had no idea existed until I don't know, like somewhere in the 2000s. I learned there was even such a thing called Sega Visions, which was Sega's answer to Nintendo Power. This is weird. It's even weird because this says May 91, and the Master System was obviously before the Genesis, but the Genesis came out in like what, 88 or 89. So this is really got to be something rare to find like such a late model release of a system that really had dying support. I don't know, maybe Sega was trying to make some extra money, but yeah, I meant that's that.